Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Brother Sister Show, a family owned and operated podcast where two siblings keep in touch by talking about movies. This week, we're talking about Anthony's pick, Safety Not Guaranteed. But before we get into that, howdy, Anthony. How are you?
I'm doing great. Living life. Yeah, I've been doing great. I think I talked about streaming. I set a schedule and I'm legit streaming. So
That's good.
Mainly been playing Call of Duty, but that's just because it's what's on the top of my mind. I've been playing that a lot. So that's what I've been playing, streaming, talking to people. It's really nice to meet people inside of the quarantine. I can't really get out, but I like watching streamers. I've been doing that a lot lately. I just go on Twitch, check a category, and sort by least viewed to highest. So I see the least viewed first, and I'll just go in. I'll just chat with the person there, and you can't really do that with any other medium. Like I can't just go watch someone play games on any other platform besides the ones that stream, like Twitch or YouTube. And you just like have a genuine conversation. It's like I'm talking to a host, but I'm like also in the audience. And we have like genuine good conversations, and it's normally about the game, which I'm like pretty passionate about. And then I'll drop a follow, and then the light in their eyes is crazy. Like they get so excited, and like the total like mood shift is like crazy. It's I don't know. It's hard to explain, but I really like doing that now. So that's what I've been up to.
And I'd hate to get all PR person, but that's a good strategy. I mean, it's a good strategy twofold. Like I don't want to. PR people get a really bad rap, and like especially movies, of being like slimy, but I like that approach. I like a human approach to like promoting yourself, that you're interested in being a Twitch streamer, and you can also use this in podcasting. Like me and you are interested in podcasting. You're interested in streaming, so you're like going to other smaller streamers rather than trying to like punch up. You're going to other ones that are also have low numbers, but you're building a community. And at the end, that is like more sustainable than if you went to like a big streamer and just like spammed their chat to like follow me. Like nobody cares about that, but to have like connections like that is cool. And like you said, during quarantine, it's just really nice to meet people.
Yeah. And then from like all walks of life. I mean, like some people who are streaming, so I get to like go to their video whenever they are streaming and just like chat with them. And some people who just like do the same thing. They're doing the same thing as me, where they just sort by lowest. Oh my gosh, lowest viewed. Lowest viewed. I mixed lowest and viewed. Lowest, and they just chat with people. I think it's a cool hobby. Just meeting people who want to try to make content.
Also, as a non-streamer, because I was watching one of yours the other day, and I was working, and you're like, "Why are you here?" But I really like. I hate silence. Usually, the only time I have silence is when I'm writing. But when I'm working, I like to have something playing. But I love having like podcasts,
right,
or streamers, because I like hearing the like just like a conversation. Because this is sad, but it makes you feel like, you're like in a cafeteria, just like with people. Like it just has like the vibes of just chill hanging out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I will say, I don't know if you want to talk about this on pod, but I feel like you should branch out of what you want to stream, but not just like games, like not only doing different games, but I've mentioned this when you were streaming, but like building like what you do, like coding. You might think it's boring, but if somebody is interested in coding and they want to see how it looks, then that's interesting. Like to have a niche, you have to try to build that. But yeah.
Definitely. I mean, I was telling you this while you were watching, but that's definitely what I want to do. I want to work on a special project on a stream.
My friend does that. I've mentioned her before. Cat Scratch is her name on Twitch, and sometimes she'll play games, but she also does I think it's D&D. I think that's what it is. Like she'll do that with like a bunch of people, and then she also. I met her because we're both like in graphic design. So she'll also have a day, like she'll start out streaming with like graphic design, and she'll just design stuff for her stream and talk to people. And it's really cool. I didn't know you could do that. Or she'll have just chatting as one of those where you just like talk to people.
I don't know if I could ever do that.
I mean, you never know. Yeah, she is pretty, like she's really good at it where she just like can talk about anything.
Yeah.
I should start streaming. I'd love talking. There's some times where I'll talk to Sebastian and I'm like, you haven't talked in 30 minutes.
That's really funny.
Yeah, I'm glad it's a good outlet for you.
Yeah, it's something I didn't think I'd ever be doing, but it's been fun so far. But that's it pretty much. School's over, so I have a lot more time to do that. So yeah. But I also have more time to watch more movies, which is freaking awesome. So there's quite a bit. We watched the movie Peppermint.
Oh, okay.
Peppermint.
It's cartel movie number like 500.
It's like The Punisher. It's just Punisher. That's all it is. Punisher if Frank Castle was a woman. That's all it is. I hate how invested I got, though. Then I watched Man of Steel because I was watching some Man of Steel clips. And that movie, I like it so much. Fantastic movie.
Is that the one that Michael Shannon's in?
Yes. Yeah, he's General Zod.
I love that man.
And then a movie on, I think it's Netflix, called Spencer Confidential. It's Mark Wahlberg as a as a cop who beat up the police captain, so he went to jail and he just got out, and it's about his redemption arc.
Well, what a stretch for Mark Wahlberg to be playing an angry man.
Who would have known? Yeah. That one was okay. I hate that I got so invested in it. I was like pretty in it, but then towards I hated the ending. Whatever. And then one movie, I don't even know if it should be on this list because I don't really remember any part of it, and I think I took a nap at the beginning, but it was very boring. Called The Bling Ring. I don't know if you've seen it. It's like
have I seen it? My favorite. It has one of my favorite lines I think I've ever heard in a movie.
Really? What is it?
I want to rob.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. It's
oh god,
what a movie.
There's a bunch of people that I can't tell if I follow a lot of film Twitter people, and I can't tell if they like it for real or if it's a joke because I hated it. I also could not tell you what happened in that movie.
Yeah, it was A24, but like it didn't feel like one. I mean, like some of the shots when they're in the houses, these famous people's houses, I could tell it was made by A24 just because of like the cinematic look of it. But like plot wise, I was just like, I don't know why they did that.
Yeah.
But whatever. And then as per your recommendation, I watched not all of it. So kind of your recommendation because you recommended I watch it all in one sitting. Mm-hmm. How To with John Wilson. I haven't finished it yet. I'm on episode 3. Something about memory.
Oh, I don't remember what it was called, but yeah, I remember what you're talking about.
Yeah, I like it so far. It's really funny. And I'm like pretty invested in it. I want to watch it.
I think
Kayla doesn't like it though.
Oh, okay. I get that. I don't think, I think there's some things where I'm like, like I love it and I know Like you guys would like it. Like I recommend it to anybody to watch it, but I knew you would like it. I didn't realize how much our brother Homer would like it. Apparently he like loved it.
Yeah, that
makes a lot of
I
sense
see
to me
it
now. Yeah. I told him to watch Nathan for You. Were you on the phone when we were talking about that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was saying how it's too cringy. I told him it is, but you got to get through it. Like I think he'll love it. But I as soon as I told him that, I was like, I should start watching. I should rewatch it. And so I got to the second episode. I need to talk to him about this, but like I could not get through it. I had to skip that episode because it is so like this one is kind of cringy, but it's kind of like an endearing cringe. But Nathan for You is like it's hard to get through some of those scenes. It's really hard.
Now, it's on HBO, right?
Yeah. It's on
I
Hulu.
definitely want to watch it now.
Nathan, you never seen Nathan for You?
Never seen it. And
oh my God, it's so fucking good. It's so good.
Yeah, I gotta watch him.
Yeah, and if you like How To with John Wilson, you'll like it because he produced it, and it's kind of a similar style. Like the one thing that he does really well, John Wilson, that Nathan does, is that those scenes where he'll linger, like where you would have edited out like the last few seconds, but he lingers and it's just so awkward. Like when he's interviewing people, but it's so good. Like, it's genius. I can't wait for you to get to the last episode.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
I haven't really watched much. I do have one movie. I've been trying to read more. My goal is a book a week, and I've been pretty good about it, except for Thanksgiving week. I put in my story that that week didn't count, and then I had a friend be like, "Yeah, that week didn't count," and so I was like, "Okay, I'm validated." But I finished 2 books so far. I think I've talked about Hunger already by Roxane Gay. Amazing. And then the next one was The Silent Patient. I don't remember the author's name. And it was okay. It was like one of those that at the very end, there was a twist. And I was like, yeah, that wasn't worth it. It kind of was just contingent on the twist itself. And then Sebastian and I watched Chef. Have you seen Chef?
I have not.
I have a tweet in my draft ready about Chef. But you won't get it, though, because you haven't seen it. But he really wanted to watch. Sebastian loves watching movies where they like have just a bunch of shots of making food. And this one has a lot of good shots of making food. Especially one, there's a pretty famous scene of making a grilled cheese, and it's amazing. It looks so good. But yeah, that one was just like a fun little watch, but I can't think of anything I've seen. I watched a couple of like scary movies. Well, I don't know what it is, but I love watching a scary movie during the day. It's very comforting.
It just hit different.
It kind of does. And I'm just like, writing content for my clients, and like there's like somebody getting murdered on my phone. Yeah, I just love it. I have a couple of movie news things.
We got some bangers.
I know you have one, but before we talk about that, I want to talk about HBO Max.
Yeah, so I saw this. Christopher Nolan came out and was like, what the heck are you guys doing?
But he
enlighten us.
Yeah, but he's got Okay, so what we're talking about is that if you haven't seen it, basically HBO Max or Warner Brothers released their schedule for how they're going to go about a bunch of like big movies. And I think they did it first with the new Wonder Woman movie.
Right.
And then I don't know if Dune was in that, some Godzilla movie,
yes.
Like a bunch of movies are basically, I think they're pushing them up, and not only are they going to release them in theaters like pretty soon, they're also going to be released on the same day on HBO Max.
Right.
First, I guess, I don't know if you want to talk about that first or what Christopher Nolan said. He said, quote, well, I won't quote it because I don't have it in front of me, but he said that HBO Max is one of the worst streaming services ever. First of all, Christopher, let's not lie. Okay, you can have an opinion, but like, let's not just blatantly slander HBO Max. HBO Max gave us How To with John Wilson. How fucking dare you, sir?
And you think you've seen it though? There's no way.
No, because he's too busy trying to get fucking people to go to IMAX theaters to watch Tenet. I'm not going to die, Christopher, to watch fucking Tenet. I can already tell you right now, it's probably a 5 out of 5 or 5 out of 10 at best. Maybe
5 out of 5 at best.
I know, 5 out of 5. It's excellent. It's probably a 7 out of 10. I'll give him that.
That's funny.
But like, he's going about this all wrong. First of all, nobody's going to feel bad for you. I don't feel bad for you that your movie's not going to be playing in a movie theater. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am scared for movie theaters. Like, I'm scared for how that's going to shake out. But I don't give a shit about Christopher Nolan's bottom line. He's going to be fine. I don't care about him.
And
like,
I was just reading.
Sorry, go on.
I was just reading that like the real people that are hurting are the people who, I mean, Christopher Nolan makes movies, but like the people who like help make the movie. So like the entire cast and crew.
Them, but also hurting. Just like independent filmmakers that are that don't get those distribution deals. Mm-hmm. You know, like the fact that I want to. You can't really put this into perspective for somebody like that, like him, but his movie is getting released during COVID. Sure, it's not the way you wanted it to, and it sucks that they didn't tell you first, but like, cry me a fucking river. I mean, am I wrong in this? Like, I understand everybody's pissed, but like, why do you feel like you're the one that should be the spokesperson of this?
I feel like Christopher Nolan, he's very technical in the way he shoots and the way he ultimately wants people to see it. Like he has a specific vision. I mean, there's a reason he recorded it the way that he records and the way that millions probably go into the research and stuff that goes into like the type of equipment that he uses specifically to get that specific like his vision, you know. Oh,
and that's cool. So but if I want to watch it on my iPhone, I'm gonna watch on my fucking iPhone. And also, like, I don't know, just speaking as somebody, the reason I'm so like mad at him, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm against people going to theaters or that I like this deal with HBO Max. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly, but I'm not going to fight against accessibility. And that's what this podcast is about. Like, the biggest rule I have every time somebody wants to go on the podcast, I mean, we haven't had somebody in a while, but every single time somebody suggests a movie, I say, is it on a streaming service? Because there is a barrier to entry for some of them, or for most of them. There's money, but it's cheaper than going to the theater. And so I understand that it's more accessible for somebody to watch something on an HBO Max or on a Netflix, because maybe if they don't pay for it themselves, they have somebody they know that they can watch it with, that they can borrow a password from. And
plus, it's like the price of a movie to go to the theater is 1 month to see like hundreds of movies.
Exactly. And not even thinking about like I don't. So there was one time where somebody put this into perspective for me, and I don't remember why we were talking about this, but this woman I was talking to about going to the movies and how I love going to the movies. And she's like, me too, but I have 2 kids. And so if me and my husband want to go to the movies, if they want to go see the new Wonder Woman, or if they want to see Tenet, we'll give you that, Christopher, then they have to, not only do they buy the tickets, which are for 2 people, like $30. I'll say $30. Then they have to hire a babysitter. And then they want to make a whole night of it, because they don't go out a lot. So they're going to get dinner. Right. And then they're probably going to want to get snacks. Like, that's hundreds of dollars for one night.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I get it. I love theaters. I love it. But I'm not going to fight against more people being able to see movies that they normally wouldn't be able to, especially during COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
And I forgot what celebrity tweeted this, but I kind of agreed with it, where they're like, hey, this sucks. Yeah, it has a really bad implication for theaters. But instead of saying that theaters are going to die, why don't we pivot to theaters need to change something? Because there is a decline in people even before COVID, there was a huge decline in people going to movies because it's so goddamn expensive. So,
yeah, I saw this other tweet. It was I I don't know his name specifically, but he's a writer. I think he helped write Sinister. No?
Oh, Robert Cargill?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think he goes just by Cargill.
Yeah, I think so.
But he was just giving like statistics. I don't know the number off my head, but it was like ballpark. It's like 8% of people in America only go once a month or something crazy, or it's like not as many people go to the theaters as you think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, something definitely needs to change. And this might set a weird precedent, HBO Max, but I don't know. Hopefully it's a good one. We'll see.
All I'll say is, I guess to end this portion and move on to what I know you're probably dying to talk about. Whenever movies open or whenever theaters open up and it's safe to, try your hardest to go. If there is an independent theater near you, go to them because they need the most help. AMC, Regal, they'll be fine. But try your best to help those independent theaters. But yeah. All right.
More important than anything in this world. Alfred Molina is coming back as Doc Ock.
Not just a bunch of people were confirmed, no?
Well, not confirmed. He was definitely confirmed. Other people are in talks. Kirsten Dunst. I see a couple tweets that saying Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are confirmed, and some execs have confirmed it, but it's all talks, you know. But Emma Stone is also expected to join. So like everyone, like pretty much everyone that is needed.
I saw one tweet that was like, is Tom Holland going to be in the
movie? That's really funny. But I don't know how they're going to do Emma Stone because she kind of died.
Oh yeah. I totally forgot about that. Well, if it's like different universe or different like multiverses, then what if it's whenever, but like before she dies, or what if it's a universe that she doesn't die?
It might be like she becomes Spider-Woman. Oh. So I don't know. All it confirms is that the multiverse is getting a live action justice. I don't know. It's happening. And it's so crazy. I remember reading all about the like Secret Wars and the Spider-Verse when all that was happening. And I am super excited.
Yeah. Well,
ridiculous.
A question though, because I saw somebody that said that this is cool that all this is happening, but they wish they wouldn't have known. Like they're upset that this is news. How do you feel about that?
I feel like regardless of me knowing, I'm going to be surprised on how they do it. Like there's no way for me to know their lines, no way for me to know anything beyond who's going to be in it.
How do you keep that secret too? There's no fucking way.
Like who's going to be in it?
Yeah, like how would you, there's no way, no, like once they film it, no set stuff would leak or, you know, like
yeah,
even as little as like Kirsten Dunst, if you see her husband and like he's a famous person, so if you see him in the same location that they're filming, oh, so she's there, you know, like it's so hard to be able to keep a secret like that,
especially in today's day and age. Everyone's home, everyone's just I don't know, it's impossible, but it doesn't bother me whatsoever. I'm still as hyped. Sure, it'd probably be like earth shattering if I was in the theater or
could you take
at
it
home watching. I probably would pause it and be like, Kayla, I need a moment. Kayla, I just need a moment.
Just like in the one HBO where he's like, can you excuse me a moment? And then he goes to the corner of the room.
Where Kit Harington does that. Yeah. That's kind of a tweet. Hold on. That's a tweet. I might do that. On the Brothers Sister show. I'll find the GIF for it.
I think there's also like you could just do the images of him saying like, can you excuse me a moment? You could have like, we'll talk about the softball. Well, no.
Yeah. So no, it'll be out.
The interviewer, because I think the interview asks him something, so you could like put something else Like interviewer asking, like, how do you feel about all the Spider-Man being in one movie? Can you excuse me? Or how do you feel about Alfred, what's his name, Molina?
Yeah.
Being confirmed for the Spider-Man movie.
I mean, that's like he's the perfect Doc Ock. I loved him. He also died though, so I don't know how they're gonna do that. But it is alternate universes.
Yeah, they could.
So yeah, easy break off.
Somebody was like, Paul Giamatti has been confirmed to play his character from Sideways. Like a whole totally different movie.
That's funny.
Well, they better put my man Bruce Campbell in it.
Ooh, he'd be a good Mysterio. And what if
he was Mysterio?
That'd be freaking awesome. That would be like that theory would be amazing if it came true. All right.
Three magazine employees head out on an assignment to interview a guy who placed a classified advertisement seeking a companion for time travel in Safety Not Guaranteed. Directed by Colin Trevorrow, written by Derek Connolly, starring Aubrey Plaza, Mark Duplass, and Jake Johnson.
As for how much it cost, it was about $750,000. Opening weekend, it made about $97,000. US, it grossed about $4 million, and worldwide, about $4.2 million. So, did pretty well for itself. And as for how critics received it, we got a 7 out of 10 on IMDb, a 91% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 72% on Metacritic. So, that's whatever.
Decent.
Yeah.
All right. So you hadn't seen this before, right?
I'd never seen it before. No.
All right. Well, I had, but I don't remember much of it. So this was like I was seeing it for the first time. And the first thing that we see is that we meet Darius, who's played by Aubrey Plaza. A very interesting name. I like it a lot.
I did too.
And she's just, going through the motions, trying to find a job that actually is paying her. Because I think she's like we mentioned, she's an intern at a magazine. So she's trying to work at whatever job will just pay her anything.
And this is so funny because, like, from an outsider's perspective, this is probably exactly what it looked like for me to interview at Olive Garden, which is where I worked. And like the same questions where the dude he just has to ask the questions, like, cause it's like a script. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I just like was imagining myself, like if I was like watching from another person's perspective, watching my own interview, and like just to see me would be so funny.
Just in any interview?
Yeah, that one especially because it was like just in a booth and in Olive Garden. I don't know why that scene just made me think of it. And like her responses are really funny to the questions because it was like, can you like give me a scenario where you helped someone in need or like a customer? And she was like, no.
I know, like what you want to answer.
Yeah. And just like my response was probably like, so this one time, like, I don't know, just like some BS story or whatever, I just found it really funny.
There was one interview. I won't say where it was from, but I've done many interviews. I've been through this struggle of like just trying to find a job. I had an internship where they didn't pay me and I had to work at, I don't know if I will say, yeah, because I really hated working there. But then I started working at Target and I loved it there. But this was when I was looking for like a job and I was interviewing at this place, and sometimes you have interviews where it's like 3 people asking you questions. I don't know if you've had this. And one of the guys asked me how I like my steaks cooked. And awesome. Like I've said before, I'm in PR and like marketing. I mean, I'm not a chef, so I don't know why I was asked that, but apparently, I also just didn't get the job, so maybe I answered wrong. I don't know.
Well, I feel like nowadays people just like, because like there's only so many questions you can ask to figure out who this person is before.
What do you get from that though? If I tell you medium well, what do you get?
Medium well, you don't know how to get your steak cooked, and I wouldn't trust you as an employee.
Fair enough.
That's what I got from that.
Fair enough. All right, so oh, a fun fact about this movie. So she does the interview. She obviously doesn't get the job, and then she goes to her job, and the editor of the magazine, the woman that plays her, the actress that plays her was the headliner for a Zoom comedy show that I went to.
That's awesome. How was she?
She was pretty good. I went there for my friend, so I was just like working while Zoom comedy shows are an interesting concept.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah, it was interesting. But yeah, I just I knew whenever she popped up on like the Zoom call, I was like, oh, I know who that is. And I couldn't place her in anything. And then I saw this movie. So there you go. I should have written down what her name was, but I did not. Okay, so as they're pitching stories as like a magazine would do, Jeff, who is played by Jake Johnson, brings up a classified ad that he wanted to answer for a story idea. So the ad reads, "Wanted somebody to go back in time with me. This is not a joke." And then it has the address. "You'll get paid after we get back. Must bring your own weapons. Safety not guaranteed. I have only done this once before." And a fun fact about this ad is that it's real. So the original classified ad upon which the film is based first appeared in Backwoods Home magazine in 1997. It was written as a last-minute filler by John Silveria, an employee of the magazine, who is credited in the film as a time travel consultant and also has a cameo. The ad was later featured on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno in 1992 in the headline segment and eventually turned into an internet meme before being developed into a screenplay.
What's his cameo?
Ooh, good question. I don't know if they said, because they had two cameos. One of them was the guy that wrote the movie. He was in the background of the interview scene, like folding a napkin or something.
Oh, because I was wondering if it's the guy who, like, when they stake out the PO boxes. That's the only other time I can imagine someone else being in the movie.
It's at the tip of my brain stem. But I don't remember. No, I know. I do remember it, like, saying where he was in the movie, but I don't know. Maybe you can look it up while I'm talking. Yeah. Yeah. So after that, he gets two interns, which is Arnow, I think is his name, and then Darius. And they pack up and travel to the small town where the ad comes from. And an interesting. Well, you have done an internship, right? But it was paid. It
was paid and it was online, so.
Oh, well, my question is, if you could intern anywhere you wanted, where would you intern? And I thought of this question because, I mean, you could imagine like what you would say because you're in engineering, but Arnow is not he doesn't want to be like a writer or anything. I think he said he's going to go into medicine, but he wanted to have a diverse resume. So that's why he's interning at a magazine. So this could be an internship in any field at any place. Where would you intern?
No, yeah. I wasn't going to say like a tech company because that's boring. But I'd say like any film production company, Lucasfilm, like A24, literally anywhere. That would be really cool, just to like get a glimpse into the industry.
Yeah, I'd say A24. Or if I could be Christopher Nolan's personal assistant.
That would be amazing.
Fucking knock some sense into that guy.
He probably treats his interns like how the editor does. Like on the phone, like, oh, this idiot doesn't even know where to put toilet paper.
She probably
I'm
watches
just playing. I
HBO
love you,
Max.
Christopher Nolan. Give me an internship.
He's just going to send you to theaters to buy IMAX tickets to Tenet.
Please.
For the love of God, please buy tickets. All right. So while Darius is actually trying to figure out this whole like time traveler thing, because they have the ad, but they don't know who the guy is. Jeff is trying to figure out where to find some girl he had a fling with a long time ago. And that's when we realized that like because I was thinking like, oh, this is a cool idea to like want to look into this. But he doesn't really care. He just wants to go to some small town that he used to go to like back in the day, and he had a fling with some girl that he hasn't talked to in years, which is very creepy, which I think Darius points out.
Mm-hmm.
And so they finally, like you said, they had a stakeout at the P.O. box. They find the guy. It's Mark Duplass with the mullet, which is exactly who I would picture as somebody who thinks they can time travel. Is Mark Duplass with a mullet. And a fun fact about when they find him, Jeff decides to go up to him first to try to be the guy that answers the ad. Fun fact about this is when Jeff approaches Kenneth, who is Mark Duplass's character, about the time travel ad, he mentions that he would like to go back in time to see living dinosaurs. Kenneth later mentions being a fan of Star Wars to Darius, later in the film. And the reason that this is mentioned is because director Colin Trevorrow's next movie would be Jurassic World. So the one that came out in 2015, which deals with an amusement park that features living dinosaurs. I don't know why IMDb felt like I needed to explain that, but there you go. Oh yeah, and Jake Johnson's in that movie too. He also was the appointed director of Star Wars episode, was that 5? I don't know Roman numerals.
Bro, that is 9.
9?
Bro, I just want you guys to know that is an I and that is an X.
Oh no. I'm stupid. Okay.
5?
What if I said IX?
Episode X? I don't know what that means. I forgot the S, sorry.
The Rise of Skywalker. Shut up for a minute, Anthony. Until he stepped down in 2017 due to creative differences. I wonder if the difference is that he didn't know what number. I would be like, okay, so first things first, get rid of this Roman numeral shit. Just put a fucking number. Who cares?
That's the clip for this episode. That's gonna go on Instagram. That's it, man.
Oh man, every day I manage to embarrass myself even more. Remember when we didn't even dive back into when I called a desktop a hard drive.
Oh my, we don't need to get back into that.
You should have heard the conversation I had with Sebastian after that.
We should have heard the conversation I had with my friend Ricardo. He was just like, really?
I don't know.
Yeah, we know. We know you don't know.
All right. So, sorry. Okay, so after this conversation happens, Kenneth is like, there's no fucking way you're going to be the person I take time traveling with me, which I agree with. And there's a question that Kenneth asks that I want to ask to you, Anthony. Mm-hmm. Have you ever stared fear and danger in the eye and said, yes?
No. I don't even know how I would answer that question. If someone legitimately wholeheartedly asked me that question, I'd probably just laugh and say no.
I would say, yes, I saw Tenet in theaters during a pandemic. Yeah, that's a weird question to ask somebody. Well, actually, another question that I can't believe I didn't write down, but who would you want to time travel with? You can't say Kayla.
Ooh, I feel like Homer would be fun to time travel with.
Ooh. Yeah. He would be so unimpressed by all of it.
Yeah, and that's the
He'd be
reason
like,
I'd
"Well,
want to go with him.
He'd be like, when can we go home?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'd want. Just the comedy that would come with it. Because he'd be like, I figured out the other day that you can play the Xbox on your phone. You can stream it and play from your phone.
Oh.
And I feel like he'd just be like, why am I here when I could literally be playing Xbox on my phone?
When we live in a time where I can play Xbox on my phone. If I even go back 1 year, I can't do that. So why would I do
that? Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good answer. All right. So after this, Darius is like, well, let me fucking try it because you're an idiot. And instantly does everything right. She like intrigues him. She just perfectly knows how this guy would want somebody to respond.
Mm-hmm.
Which is pretty cute. I mean, she doesn't know this guy, so I guess it could be creepy, but in the context of this movie, I think that's really sweet. And then, so there are a couple of things. Oh, wow. Did you hear that?
No.
Oh, I breathe weird, but let's just move past it. So there's a couple of things in this movie that I didn't remember, and I was like, this is problematic. So the first thing is, well, there's a lot of things in this movie I don't like. Like, just there's this throwing around of the R word. Like, let's not do that. And then also Jeff, the way he reacted to seeing the girl that he was interested in.
His character is very weird to me.
Yeah. I mean, I get writing an asshole character like that. Like, I don't think it's directly, or I guess it could be a conversation of him writing the R word, writing this one specific character to say it, if that is indicative of the director, or if it should be like, well, that's how the character would talk. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's directly correlating to like what the director's values are, especially if or not even the director, I think the screenwriter, excuse me. Because I mean, that could be an asshole to him as somebody that just uses that word, but also just, I am so fucking tired of fat being used as like why somebody isn't worthy of your time. Because, well, first of all, I don't know if it's meant to be this way, because we see her, like he sees who the girl is and she's fucking stunning. Like, she's beautiful. And then he like goes leaving, like sulking, and he goes to the hotel room and she's like, well, she's fat.
Yeah.
What? Well, first of all, she doesn't exist for you. So like, she can look however the fuck she wants. It doesn't mean that she's like any different to the world, you know? Sorry.
Yeah. I don't know. I found it to be weird, but
I'm just begging Hollywood to like stop using fat as like the amount of movies that we've done on this podcast where I've had to hear people be like, well, she's fat. Like that as an insult is so stupid. Like, let's stop doing that. It's not an insult. It's just how people are. All right. Out of my soapbox. Okay. So Kenneth decides that he's going to take Darius to the next level of basic training. And I love that he uses the term basic training. And my note, what if this was how Dad's basic training was for the military? They're just shooting bottles and like running on the beach. Like, what the fuck are they even doing? What are they training for exactly?
With some voiceover of him talking about how he only needs martial arts to defend himself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that image of Dad running that course, that intense basic training is pretty funny. I like the idea of Dad watching it. He's like, yeah, I remember doing that. Yeah, it adds up.
Yeah, just about in a minute or two, you're going to see their beach sequence. That was the hardest part. Sand, it gets in your boots.
And when the heat gets hot... I hated that they used that term, but like it's just so funny. Like the terms he used, like when Darius first meets him in his place of work, in the grocery store, and she's like, "Are your calibrations even right?" He's like, "Yeah, my flipping calibrations are perfect," or something like that. Like I like that part about this movie, but
so good.
Little side tangent, but the heat gets hot.
Sorry?
Nothing. Keep on going.
No. So after a hard day of training, they talk about why they're going to go back. Well, they don't. I don't think Kenneth says at this moment. But Darius tells us that she wants to go back to save her mom. And it's like this whole story of, do you remember it? Do you want to say it?
Yeah, her mom's headed home from work, and she calls her mom and tells her that she wants chocolate milk, and so she gets chocolate milk at a gas station, but then someone kills her mom at a gas station. Well, I mean,
all because she wanted some fucking chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Come on.
Spoiler, but it's not real, no?
No, I think it is.
No, okay. We'll get to it, but I don't think it's real.
I think it is. Okay, so my question to you, Anthony, is what would you go back for?
It does beg the question. So I would go back. I mean, there's like obvious answers, like invest in Bitcoin when it was pennies, right? But maybe that would make me a bad partner for Kenneth because he doesn't want any personal gain.
Yeah.
Besides investing, all that nonsense, I think I'd go back and like work on trying to get the knowledge that I have now earlier in life. Like, I'd go back and say, hey, read this book, visit these websites, like start coding now, like start streaming now, start making videos, like start doing the stuff that will make you happy.
You'd say, okay, so in about 5 years, there's going to be a movie called Interstellar.
Interstellar. You just get fucking ready now.
Just get ready.
Oh my goodness. I watched Interstellar too. I forgot about that.
Oh, I need to send you. Did you listen to Tiny Meat Gang?
Not the latest ones. I haven't listened to a podcast in a while.
They're making fun of Matthew McConaughey when he was talking about the crying scene. He was like, he was just the way he talks so fucking funny.
Yeah.
He's like, and then I wasn't acting because acting is after the first take.
Oh yeah.
He just like stuff like that.
He did it on first take. I remember seeing that, but whatever. Yeah. I would probably tell myself to start working on that earlier.
Yeah, I would. I had this question somebody asked us at work. We have like questions of the day. Or no. Yeah, it was that. And they were like, what would you tell your younger self? And I said that, I said 3 things. 1, you're running your own race. Cause I used to I still do, but I compare myself a lot to other people in their lives. And it's like, just not good for my mental health. 2 is to stop caring about how you look, because you're gonna look back on how you look. Like in the future, you're gonna look back on how you look now in pictures, and you're gonna want to be able to look like this. You know what I mean? Right. Like you'll be like, I saw a picture of myself in high school, and I was like, I was miserable, and I looked how I want to look now. So like looks don't fucking matter, and that changed my life. And I wish I would have learned that younger. A 3rd thing is to get a fucking therapist. But yeah, I like that though, of like, I'm not trying to specifically change something, but just like give yourself certain knowledge that would have saved you a lot of hurt or a lot of like time.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think I'd go back and like change anything drastic. Like what Darius and Kenneth are attempting, but
yeah. All right. Cool. So back to Jeff, the piece of shit. He meets the girl from the past, and good news, Anthony. He deems her worthy because she can make pie. I hate this guy so much.
You make pies and you give good massages? Why aren't you wifed up? That's what he said.
Why aren't you achieving the ultimate dream of being married to a man?
And then she goes on to tell about her shitty ex.
That men ain't shit, yeah. And he's proven it, and he's going to prove it. All right, so, and then there's a weird moment. Okay, so in the diner, there's a weird moment. I hated this entire scene. I don't understand it at all.
I forgot about this.
They're sitting. I forgot about I think I blocked in my memory from the first time I watched it because it's so fucking weird, and they didn't need this scene. So, anyways, they're like in a diner. Darius and Kenneth are in a diner, and Darius is just like making fun of a kid. Like, she keeps looking at this kid, and she tells Kenneth, "We have to go because this kid's a freak," and he hasn't done anything. He's just sitting there. I don't know what her deal is.
Yeah, looking back, it seems weird. And then freaking Kenneth's ear falls off.
Yeah, it's like just such a weird scene, a bunch of stuff going on. And he freaks out and he says that the whole thing is off. And then he runs to his car. She comforts him. Everything's fine. She's like, "It's cool. I don't care that that your ear is like a prosthetic. I don't care." But yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that like the kid looked weird or the ear is weird. I think that the whole interaction was just very strange. I just hated that scene.
Agreed.
Because I understand it was like, I guess it was a vehicle to have us have that conflict, but the conflict only lasted like a minute. I don't know, just strange. Cut that scene out and you'll be fine. Yeah, so Jeff and the interns are meeting up there. This whole time they're staying in a hotel room together. And so they're meeting up whenever Darius is not with Kenneth. And they have an interesting conversation where they're talking about if Kenneth is a freak or not. Because like we said, he believes in time travel. Not only does he believe in time travel, but he believes he's achieved it. So at this moment, I don't remember what I thought because I've seen this a long time ago. But what do you feel about him right now?
Well, while I was watching this, I really wanted it to be true. I wanted everything that he was saying to have some truth to it. But like, I don't know. I just felt like it was going to be like a Swiss Army Man kind of, or like just one of those movies where it's just like, yeah, something's off about him, and ultimately I'm just going to feel bad for him. So I just kind of felt bad for him. Ultimately,
and the time travel was their love,
because he's kind of getting played. I mean, like regardless of whether it's true or not, and Darius is lying to him.
And I did have an issue. Like I felt very uncomfortable, very uncomfy about the whole like when she first met him and she was trying to like cover the fact that the guys were with her, and she was like, "Somebody's following us," and I mean, I don't want to assume that something's wrong with him mentally, but if that was a possibility, like, and that's what they're entertaining is that that's a possibility that something is mentally wrong with him, then why are you feeding into that? Like, that just felt really, like, shitty to me. And I'm not saying, I don't think that's a bad thing to put in this movie, because I think that is an interesting thing. And it's realistic. I mean, I think that's what she would do if this was a real situation, but it just made me very uncomfortable. Cause like, if it was that, if we do go into the possibility that they're thinking, then they're like contributing negatively to that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I think I felt the same way you did though. I was like, well, to me, I'm like, yeah, that's not real, but it would have been cool if he was right. Yeah. All right. So after this, Darius meets up with Ken so he can steal something essential to his mission. And then they get stalled. He steals it, and they have a really funny scene of him stealing it while just an entire birthday party is happening. But so I have an issue with this birthday party. It looks like it's 10 o'clock at night. Why are they still there? Why are they having cake?
It could be working a night shift at it's a medical center, I think.
Yeah, but like, all that many people?
Why not?
It just felt strange.
Yeah.
It was funny, but I was like, why are they all there? But yeah.
I love that they don't do anything. Like, they see him steal. They see Kenneth steal stuff, and they're just like, Sir? Bring that back.
And then he gets into the van, they leave, but then they get stalled because there's government workers that are just working on the road because, like I said, it's the middle of the night. And while they're waiting, Kenneth talks about the girl that he wants to save. He like talks about I forgot her name, but he like paints a picture of this girl that was really nice to him. That
Belinda.
he doesn't, I don't know if Belinda. And I don't know if he says he was in love with her, but he implies it. and that she died because a guy drove his car into her living room. And I was like, that's very specific, but I mean, I guess it happens. I don't know. After this, Jeff and the interns decide to go see what Ken is building, and they can like see some stuff in the little like window of his, it looks like a garage, and they notice that people are actually following him, and it's not just any everyday people. It's two guys in trench coats, which are obviously FBI. Like, that's what they dress like. I think that's the standard uniform, is trench coat.
Yes.
After this, Ken uses Darius to give his coworker a ton of money because his wife is sick. I just thought that was a really nice moment. Because the guy that I forgot his name, but
Shannon,
yeah, he seems like one of those guys at work that you just caring, you know. He doesn't treat Kenneth like he's, you know, a freak.
Yeah, and Darius, Shannon tells Darius like this is Kenneth. Like, tell him I said I hope he's getting wherever he's going, or he gets wherever he's going.
Yeah, he's so nice.
But she never tells him, so that made me a little upset. Yeah. I was like, tell him, dude.
I didn't realize that. Maybe it wasn't on camera, Anthony. I'm sure he knows.
Maybe.
But yeah, and then we did see, I wish we saw more of Shannon. I really liked Shannon because at the beginning when she first sees Kenneth, he's like yelling to Shannon. He's like really, he's super animated and like explaining something that I'm sure Shannon doesn't care about, but he's just standing there listening to him, which is very nice. Just when people, as somebody who rambles like that, it's very nice when people just sit and listen to you. Yeah. After this, Jeff has a tryst with Jessica. They're in bed, and then he asks her to move with him to Seattle. It's very strange. And it's obviously crazy. Like, why would she do that? And plus, her house is amazing. She has an amazing house. She has like a chicken coop in the back. She has a whole garden. She bakes pies. She doesn't need this man. And that's what she basically tells him. She's like, no, I'm not going to do that. Like, are you serious? And then he gets so mad so instantly. And she just proves her point. He proves her point that he's just the worst, and why would she do that? Yeah. And then Darius and Kenneth have like a nice little, like, what is it called? Campfire. Campfire. They're just like out in the Boy Scout like campground. And Kenneth plays instrument for her, which I think he calls a zither. But it's actually called a dulcimer. I don't know how to say that, but it's not what he says it is. But I will say,
sounds cooler.
Yeah. But I will say the song, absolute banger. Very good.
It is. It's very good. Sorry, I keep on cutting you off.
And you're saying the same exact things I'm saying.
No. I was saying that Zither sounds cooler, and I cut you off.
No, it's okay. It does, though, especially because I can't say what the other word is. And then as they're sitting by the fire having just a romantic night, Darius kisses Kenneth. They have a little moment. After that, Jeff, he sucks, but I hate him. But he does, like, him and what's his name? Ardnow? I don't
remember his name.
Him and Ardnow are having, like, the other intern, they're having just a night where they're getting drunk, hanging out with teenagers, it looks like. And he's like really pushing Ardnow to like go and sleep with this girl and to have just like a hookup while he's in his 20s. And he's annoying in how pushy he is, but I do like the advice that he gives him, and it's advice I say all the time. He tells him, act like you've been there. Yeah. He's trying to have him like act cool, not be as nervous. And I've always loved that advice to like act like you've been there, and it's kind of just like fake it till you make it, like that kind of thing. And it really does work. I don't know if you've ever tried that, Anthony, but like just acting like you are confident, you know what you're doing. It's amazing.
All the time.
Yeah, I never know what the fuck I'm doing. And the next morning, the editor calls Jeff with some news. And the news is that the girl Kenneth wants to save, I think her name was Belinda, you said, she's fucking alive. And I didn't remember this at all, so I was shook. I was like, what the fuck? And they go to interview her. And Darius was like, I want to interview her because she's pissed. And it's Kristen Bell. Every time there's like surprise castings, at least to me, when I don't know somebody's in the movie, I always want the actor, like the other person, to be like, are you Kristen Bell? Yeah, so she interviews her and she tells Darius that Kenneth was nice. He was kind of weird, but she didn't see much of him until he crashed his car into her boyfriend's house. So basically the story he told her, he did, and he didn't kill her. He just like dented. And he also didn't even crash into the house. He just like, well, he didn't crash through it. He crashed into it. So he just like dented something. And so they said that they would say it was a hit and run. So he wouldn't get in trouble. So yeah. So she's pissed as she leaves because obviously like he lied to her. And after Darius leaves, she's approached by the agents that were following him earlier. And I forgot, I didn't write down exactly what they were talking about. I don't know if you remember.
I know. Yeah. I know. They think he's a spy because he's talking to some scientists. So they think he's a spy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, and they talk about, they mention him stealing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and so after this, Darius confronts Kenneth about everything. She says that he's crazy, and he just tells her, like, he kind of ignores what she's saying. He's like, just meet me at the launch site at 5. You'll understand. Everything will be fine. But then the plan, like him still being excited about the launch site, is ruined by Jeff and Ardnow. I spelled that so wrong, but are now running into the house, and he's already seen Jeff because in the beginning Jeff had like tried to be his partner and he said no. Yeah, so he learns that she was doing this for a story and he gets really pissed. He runs off. And they find his plans in his little garage because he's taken the machine out of it. And it looks legit. I think they're like, even Darius is like super surprised that he has plans, and it doesn't look like crazy person plans. Like he has actual like, is it called diagrams? But like stuff like written out, formulas, blueprints. All that shit. Yeah, blueprints. And it looks legit. After this, Darius finds him in his time machine, which is a boat, and it's like flashing lights and shit. It looks really real. It's all decked out. And she joins him on it. She goes on the little plank after he holds his hand out for her. And he says that he's changed the mission for them and that they're going to go back for her now. When he said that, he meant like saving her mom?
Yeah, okay. So this is what I was going to talk about. Because she has to because last time they saw each other, Kenneth realized that she was with the guy that he ran in with, Jeff. Yeah. And he finds out that they're writing an article on him, and he freaks out. But then, okay, so when she goes to the launch site. Mm-hmm. He's like, is everything still true? Like, yeah, like she. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to cut this, but she tries to convince him that
everything is real,
to trust him. Yeah. So she says everything is have I told you is the truth except for the story. The story is a lie, but everything else is the truth. No, everything else is me.
Okay, so she meant the fact that she was writing the story, or that they were writing the story. She didn't tell him about that, but everything was real. And so you know that her story is real because of one device that the screenwriter did. So she tells the story, and then after that scene is the scene where the interns and Jeff are in the room. And I don't even think Jeff is in there, but she's in there with Ard now. And he asks her, like, she says that they were talking about like what they were going to go back for. And he was like, so you said something? And she said, yeah. And he was like, well, what did you tell him? And she said something that was a lie.
Getting her parents from divorcing.
Yes. Yeah, she said that. So she said something about her parents divorcing. So she could, if it wasn't actually a lie, why would she lie to Arnau? She lied to him about what she told Derek, or what she told Kenneth.
That's true.
So that is the indicator that she was telling Kenneth the truth and she was telling Arnau the lie.
All right. I forgot about that, but
yeah. What else?
You win some, you lose some.
Mm-hmm.
But crazy enough, Kenneth wins, and the freaking time machine works.
It fucking works.
For the most part, it worked from what we can tell, because it cuts right after that, and that's the end of the movie.
Well, they disappear, and then
could be a teleporter, which would be as equally as impressive.
Either way, like, how the fuck did he do that?
But yeah, I liked this movie so much. Just to get into it, but I liked how when Darius is like confronting him, Kenneth, she's like, the lady you said is dead isn't even dead. He's like, well, yeah, perfect. Then our plan worked. Like, everything is going to go as planned. And like, in the moment, I'm like, oh, dude, like you're in your head. But
yeah,
I mean, I like this ending a lot, and this kind of goes into what you have.
Oh yeah. So I have a couple of fun facts. The first one is about the ending. So in the Comic-Con 2020 Directors on Directing panel, Colin Trevorrow revealed that the time machine did not work in the original ending of the film. Although the film had already been accepted at Sundance, the director felt the earlier ending didn't feel right and recalled the cast to shoot the new, more fantastical ending just 2 weeks before the film premiered at the festival.
That must be you must feel pretty strong about that if you're doing that 2 weeks before
I know.
Premiere.
Jesus Christ.
It must be stressful, but I think it's good.
Yeah.
Definitely.
All right, a couple more. So this movie was shot in 4 weeks. Mark Duplass filmed all his scenes in the first 2 because of scheduling conflicts. Some scenes were improvised. For example, when Jeff, played by Jake Johnson, tells Arnau to raise his collar and wear sunglasses because they make him look like a, quote, pilot that drives jets. Last one is the part of Darius was written for Aubrey Plaza because the writer Derek, I don't know why I said it like that, but the writer Derek Connolly wanted to work with her. Jake Johnson was likewise director Colin Trevorrow's first choice to play the part of Jeff.
I love this movie so much. It was a lot of fun. Besides some weird aspects of it, like the diner and Jeff. I like this movie a lot. It's really fun, and it's a good quarantine movie. It gives hope. I don't know. It gave me, oddly enough, a little hope. And yeah, if you made it this far and you haven't seen it, go watch it.
It's very good. All right. I'm trying to determine what I want us to watch, because we had a couple of switches of like, we thought we were going to watch one thing and now we're probably going to watch something else. So I'm like kind of deciding on the cuff, off the cuff. How do you say that? I'm deciding right now. Okay, maybe I'll give you the option, Anthony. It's 2 movies I love. Do you want to watch one that is a romance or one that has like crime? A crime thriller or like a rom-com?
A rom-com. We haven't done one in a while.
Okay. So we're going to watch one because I've mentioned I talk a lot about just like how much I hate the way stories of fat women are told. We're going to watch one that I personally love. So it's a movie called Dumplin' on Netflix. And it's I feel like, I don't know if you watch a lot of rom-coms, Anthony, but because you made me watch Megamind, I'm going to make you watch a rom-com. If not, do you want me to tell what the other option was?
Tell me off pod. We might pick it later.
Okay. But yeah, Dumplin' on Netflix. Let me give a little synopsis. To prove a point about measuring up and fitting in, Texas teen Willadine Dixon, the most Texas name I've ever heard, enters a local pageant run by her ex-beauty queen mom. And her mom is played by Jennifer Aniston.
Nice.
Yeah, Dumpling on Netflix. I think it'll be fun. It'll be a nice little fun way to get into the holiday spirit. It's not a holiday movie, but it's a fun movie.
Yeah, should be cool.
All right. And
follow us on Instagram at Brother Sister Show and Twitter at Bro Sis Show. In the description of both of those, we have a bunch of links. So check it out.
Check it out. Write us a review on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe wherever you like getting podcasts. Wear a mask. Black Lives Matter. See you later.
Stay safe. Bye.